It's 5 minutes past 3 p.m. right here on Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja. Thank you so much for staying tuned and hope you've had a great time listening to us from the morning crossfire to what's happening in Abuja, the sunny side. And now it's time for us to get to some hard facts. I'll be here until 7 o'clock and hand you over to the ball frenzy team. How does it feel to work? I know a really long weekend. You got relaxed and about work. Well, about the first day not as intense as it would typically be, and hopefully there's a weekend to look forward to again. So no problem whatsoever. Do the best that you can. My name is Itodo. You call me the Deacon or the Agaba one, and I'll answer whatever name you decide to put on me at this time. We're going to get into the round table right now. Do that until 4:30. Well, extended version today because we've got Dr. Majeed. We'll look at some of the big stories rounds in Nigeria today, and afterwards move on to the conversations. At 6 o'clock, to what eyewitness report is and situation update. Get into that from 6 to 7. Hand over to the football frenzy team. Welcome to the show. You can watch live on YouTube and Facebook right now at Nigeria Info Abuja. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube platform and be a part of the conversation. Good afternoon, Dr. Majeed. Compliment season to you.
Yes, so...
How's it going? How's the feeling easing?
Well, we are taking the opportunity of the rest and prepare for the new year.
Okay.
So, Merry Christmas to all Nigerians.
Yeah.
Wishing us a prosperous new year.
Amen.
Yes.
It's a Wednesday before the new year.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've got a lot to talk about in terms of how the year been and stories that we've had to handle in the year 2023. Sad news coming out of Ondo State. The Ondo governor Itodo dies after a prolonged illness, and family and top government sources confirmed his demise on Wednesday morning. Now, the died after a protracted battle and undisclosed illness, though reported that he was down with leukemia. Now, after the intervention of President, the governor handed over to his deputy, Lucky Atiwa, on December 13th for him to travel to Germany for treatment. His health reportedly worsened. Earlier, Akeredolu on June 6 transmitted power to his deputy via a letter to the State House of Assembly, and the Speaker of the House, Olamide Oladiji, who received the God's letter, revealed that Akeredolu would resume work on July 2023. Meanwhile, the governor returned to the country on September 7th, 2003. His wife, Betty, had announced their plan on her X handle when she put her husband's picture in an aircraft with action homebound. His return to his Ibadan home created heated controversy as the Asian People's Democratic Party in the state queried the governor for remaining in Ibadan and not returning to Akure, the state's capital. The governor's aide, however, explained that he remained in Ibadan to recuperate as the renovation of his office was ongoing. A lot of, different reports here and there, stories, and a bit of the drama that he had with his deputy. Really sad times on the state. The state government saying that Akeredolu died of prostate cancer after the news broke and went viral of his demise. Dr. Majeed, sad times. It's been a bit worrisome, the drama in Ondo State, and with it ending this way.
Yes, I mean, this is a sad end for any human being at all. Death is something that no one wishes for and nobody looks up to. So, to the family and all of Ondo State, we accept our heartfelt condolences on the death of the governor, and we pray that God grants him eternal rest in paradise. And we hope that the state will continue with good legacy he left behind, and hopefully we will live that. Well, God's time is the best, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Yes, there have been a lot about his health and the fact that he didn't hand over to his deputy when he was supposed to, but well, now that he's dead anyway, sometimes I think he has, I won't say the ultimate prize, but the fact that he's dead, I think we would rather focus on, commiserating with his family and his faith, and just hope that all of us as human beings will keep learning less every day. Sometimes when you think inevitably this will be the end of every mortal, then you begin to wonder why people don't judge you the thing, especially when they find themselves in position of authority and power. Simple things will leave your legacy unblemished. Ordinarily, we shouldn't be discussing anything today than just the lifetimes of Akeredolu without the controversy surrounding his inability or otherwise to handle his deputy, the constitutional provision of Nigeria also being a. But anyway, that's the Nigerian politics. So we hope everybody learns a lesson from this and understands that when we are gone, the only thing that people will fondly talk about us and immortalize us are the good things we live and the good legacies of governance that we leave behind too. So may God rest and give the family the fortitude to loss.
Now, what does this mean for the people in those states, as well as lessons that politicians can learn from this? Because there was a concern about giving permissions to certain documents signed while he was ill and indisposed. What does this mean for the people of the state? And saying that PT would now be the substitute governor for the duration as left of the tenure of he and his deputy.
You see, ordinarily, the brouhaha and the controversy and all the issues that surrounded his ill health and the issue of not over and some of the other things that emerged as forging of signature, all those controversies would have been completely avoided. Akeredolu, now late, did the simple right thing of transmitting power to his deputy when he fell ill. It's as simple as that. It's simple. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Even if you're going to go under the knife for an hour and you're going to be unconscious, you are supposed to transmit, because the state is not about you. It's about the people. It's about an institution. And one should not personalize power, because ultimately we all die. All of us will die. So today, for reasons that people around him or himself had for not doing the simple right thing, as prescribed by the Constitution, it's all over. It's dead. It's not going to benefit from whatever it is that we are trying to protect. It's all over. All over. Today, a new man has taken over. So we hope also that the person has taken will learn a lesson from this and become an apostle of constitutionalism as a governor. I've always argued that more than half of our problems as a country will be solved the day that our elected particularly those of them who swore to uphold the intent and the spirit behind the letters of the Constitution, the day they actually live by that oath and pay absolute fidelity to the Constitution of Nigeria, more than half problems would have been solved. They cannot look at the gaps in the legal framework that proved upon before we can make further gains. Only we'll be going around in circles. So, Governor, swing Governor Aidatiwa, who is on at this moment, we learn from other governors, other members of the political class. We realize ultimately is death that is our thing in life. Yet the day you are born to. And so please leave behind good legacies. Make the world better so that when you go, you remember for that which you have done. Again, on the day of the death of a governor, we are discussing some of the things he did not do right. And which is not supposed to be other discussing his, paying tributes to him. I said this because when something similar during the Yar'Adua era, Yar'Adua was a good president, gentleman. But this same issue almost rubbed off on his legacy. It put a big blemish on his very clean credentials. Gentleman, apostle of the rule of law. Because he simply failed to do this. The Constitution was amended to compel presidents to do the needful. Even at that, they still find ways of dodging around without doing the needful. To tell you that our problem is not so much about the legal framework of the Constitution, it's about the operation. Simply find ways to beat law using certain kind of loopholes. For a lawyer that he was, who seemingly advised Yar'Adua to the part of constitutionality when he was NBA president, and Yar'Adua was president during that constitutional crisis. One would have expected him to do the needful. And to members of his family, here you are. What have you gained now from putting this man through this level of ridicule? By doing everything possible to hold on to power. Your father is ill as a governor and is ill. If your husband is ill and is a governor, your primary concern should be his health. If indeed you love him, it's his life and his health, not the governorship. What is governorship? That should be your primary concern. How will your father become healed, receive proper medical care, away from the rigors of public office? If your wife, the same thing. It's not about struggling, drawing long at night to position yourselves in order to produce successor. Now he's not there. What is there anything that can accredit the lives of his family and close associates? Nothing, nobody. He's gone. So this is a lesson for us to learn. But however, why history is said to be dictator, Italians are the worst learners because they never learn him Absolutely. So we're repeating the same mistake of history. But so most people that are saying this today are not likely to actually make any change in their attitude towards public service or rule of law. They're not likely to do. They will continue along the same path to meet their definite end too.
Now, most times we blame the public office holder, the one who is on top, forgetting the aides and those who are in control of them or their itinerary or whatever it is they're doing. Because those ones also wield some sort of power and might make decisions are not in line with what that particular public office holder wants, thereby tarnishing whatever good each that they have. How can they be more intentional, wherein whatever decision is being made is in line with what they want to achieve in the end?
The ones that we elected as governors, presidents, local government chairmen, senators, and all, we didn't elect their aides or former members. And that's their leaders. It's called leadership. You have to be ahead of your aides in terms of constitutional fidelity and doing the right thing, moral rightness, ethical conduct. Ahead, you have to set that as your own priority. Your aides will all comply. And anybody who doesn't want to comply, you show the person the way out. The truth of the matter is this. Most times, the so-called cabal or aides of a member of a public officer actually do that which they know pleases him. That's it. I can tell you this for free. And people that want to survive in government, who want to remain relevant as far as he's concerned, will only take that which he wants to hear and help him to execute that which he desires. So the ultimate blame lies on the very... Well, as we are speaking now, that no other name is being mentioned. It is Itodo we are talking about. The same we talked about Yaradua. What was the God thing handing over to a deputy? As prescribed by the Constitution, you have such level of ill health. Nobody wishes anybody to be sick, wants anybody to die. But it's honorable. It's the right to do. It's the honorable thing to do. So that you don't have your credentials, your image tarnished because you failed to do certain things. And the family members, they wished that he took the initiative, to do the needful ahead of all of the concerns. Today we'll be discussing life and times. But this will continuously feature for a long time to come. It's not fair to him. So even if he wants to, those that are closest to him that would have told him, sir, let us do the right thing because of your own interest. So again, the blame will go to the person that was elected. So leaders must lead by example. Not bad example, very good example. Your aides, your family, everybody will follow because they know that you are going to compromise. And you're not supposed to compromise because you swore an oath of fidelity, swore an oath of allegiance to the United States and fidelity to the Constitution and country. So at all times you must abide by it, you must implement it, and you must live it, you must lead by it. Unfortunately, that is not in Nigeria.
Really sad. Our hearts go out to the family of Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu as well as the people of Ondo State. So rest in peace. Now, moving on to another story, big story making the rounds today. Over the weekend, over 115 people were killed following attack on several communities in Boko's King Ladi local government area of Plateau by gunmen. The attack also spread Mango local government. As usual, it has been followed by public outcry, condolence messages, promises by the authorities to address the situation and prevent a reoccurrence. But it also happens over and over again, so much so killings in Plateau have become a monthly thing on national and international headlines. The death tolls are almost all higher than the official figures. Now, Mango and other really attacked local government areas have received special attention in recent months, a presidential order and a special military operation. However, the killings have persisted and seem to have defied all odds. In July, House of Representatives asked Nuhu Ribadu, the National Security and a national emergency on killings in Plateau. The lawmakers passed a resolution following the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by Dachon Bagos, a lawmaker from Plateau. In the same month, the Nigerian said more manpower and equipment being deployed to address the incessant attacks and killings in Mango local government area and other communities in Plateau State. This was in addition to the division's headquarters already stationed in the local government area. In August, the Plateau State government established a security and information center to provide residents with access to report developments in their locations. Now, the governor of the state, Caleb Motfwang, said the initiative would enable the state to address security challenges. It's really what's happening in Plateau on the eve of Christmas, having to come to the death of loved ones and not being able to understand, the constant warnings, the hope nothing of the sort would happen again, but it happens and you can't seem to grasp in what ways you should be able to fight off if it ever comes again.
And that's because there's a country I know where over 100 people be slaughtered, and as we speak, neither governor, nor security forces, nor even the federal government knows who are the suspects in this level of killing. Nobody is telling us anything. That country where you hear unknown gunmen, where something happens and they are abandoned on to the state, tell you they are unknown gunmen. This is the only country I know of in the whole world. In other climes, when such level of one-to-one of lives and property happens, within 48 hours, people will be arrested and apprehended, and their full identities and possible motives will be known to the public, so as to know how to sit crime and possibly begin to find solutions, lasting solutions. So, remember, what we've been hearing is, women, this is not also an exception. People came into a community and killed over 100 people. Not a person was arrested. No statement has been made to as to who we are responsible, who we are suspected to be responsible, their identity, their location, what do they stand for, what was their post, nothing. So the crime will happen again and again and again. That's the reality. It's continuing to happen. Because it's if those that are carrying out this crime are far bigger than the state. So the state cannot even identify them. I've been monitoring the media yesterday. We've had, it's like nobody knows what to say about who killed over 100 people in the state, in the central part of Nigeria, not on the face. Plateau is not a border town, so that state. It's in the center of Nigeria. So people cross from wherever they came into Nigeria, several kilometers down into the central part of the country, mowed down people in hundreds. And nobody has told us who was, not even the governor of the state. As moment as was, someone has told us that it's neither religious nor there are those criminals. Okay. Even when Anini was terrorizing parts of Nigeria, there was somebody called Anini. When you had robbery in some part of the old Bendel state, so this one is Anini's boss or Monday or Sumbo. We could identify name people that were suspected to be responsible.
Let's go on the break. When we come back, we'll have your thoughts. Do all the stay tuned.
As the Christmas bells ring.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Facts Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me, let's talk.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info. is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Nothing makes the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. Do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 8 to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1 and I'm from D. Amedo. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day. It is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and doing it differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
To tribal, simple as far as it's concerned, tribalism led us down this road. So let us now be Rwandese people, Rwanda to three, and he has largely succeeded in molding a nation, the ashes of genocide, into Rwandan citizen name. Fine. Now, if you go to the Middle East right now, a group of people entered into a territory called Israel on the 7th of October, abducted people, killed, and within 24 hours, the identity of perpetrators was by the Israeli authorities.
Yeah.
These are Hamas members. CCTV food stages. And so because of that, we are now into Gaza, also extract a pound of flesh, and the war is going. September 11, 1. Some airplanes were flown into the winter and some other places in America. Within 24 hours, the identities of who flew those planes were revealed, who hijacked and flew them into those targets were revealed. Their nationalities were revealed, and the organization they work for was in public glare. Why is Nigeria different? How can you report the killing of over 100 people? And in almost 72 hours now, nobody has told us who was responsible for it. It wanted to arrest them. Maybe you cannot arrest them yet. But
be able to establish.
Who did this and for what purpose? The governor cannot tell us. The federal government cannot tell us. The authority cannot tell us. The police authority cannot tell us. Something is wrong with us as a people. Something is wrong with Nigeria. That should be the part of the conversation. Who did this and for what purpose? Who did it? I don't know. The governor who should know has told us that it has no religious or ethnic dimension. Just criminals. Now, when
criminals wiped out over 100 people.
To steal what from them? And what exactly tried to steal? Now, we know, for example, in the 80s, there was also about Shinorambo in Lagos. It was a criminal now. But it was Shinorambo that was terrorizing Lagos. So until he was apprehended or something like that, or maybe he became young also. But we knew that there was that Shinorambo. We used to know kingpins of criminal armed robbery gangs. We used to, it was public knowledge. And Osumbo, we heard of people. So at least you knew that those were operating in certain areas, belong to certain groups. All over the world, Mexico to Colombia, you had cartel drug dealers that are identified, leaders are known. To the point that if a particular attack happens, people can tell that this particular pattern of attack is a particular cartel. How come in 72 hours? And this is the governor of that state, the challenge to the federal government. Why are you not telling us did this? And not call this a former herders class. A clash.
But Plateau State's own has always been ethno-religious.
So the governor has told us it is not.
And
that is why I find it
is what's the reason to deflecting from what?
That's what I'm saying.
Is it deliberate? Change the narrative to addressing the religious
was the former narrative flawed? Was it false? Why are you deflecting from it?
So people who lived in Jos, I schooled in Jos. I worked for years before I left that city, and I know there are places where you come in just based on the fact that you're a Christian or from a part of the country, you can't rent a house there. It's as real day in Plateau State.
So if the governor is telling us today that it's not religionic, what is it? Because just to say that what did they come to steal? What were they trying to steal? And they had to kill 145 people. Some have said it's political. Okay, fine, it's political. And who are the political sponsors of this politically motivated crime? What are they struggling for that would necessitate them to kill 145 people? And who behind the politics? Why are we creating facades around issues? That's really human lives.
And you know, you asked a valid question because there are special forces in Plateau State over the years where they've had special forces designated to addressing the issue there. Say that this is above them, that you can still have a number of people killed in one fell swoop.
Exactly.
With all the special forces and all the committees and the whatever they've been having in that.
You see, the approach to the issue of insecurity, in the play to and parts of Southern Kaduna has been faulty, and I've said it severally. When you hear the army talk about kindness and kinetic approach, I tend to fall that narrative. They have no business with non-kinetic approach to security, the responsibility of the army or any security agency. What you call non-kinetic approach is maybe finding out the root cause of the problem, socio-cultural factors that led to it. That is within the realm of good governance. That's a responsibility for political leaders. Good governance. Not governance, but administering all of the territory of Nigeria with the principle of equity, fairness, and justice. So, for example, a Muslim should be inferior to a Christian because he's a minority in that state. Neither should a Christian be superior to a Muslim because of his majority status stick. And a Muslim must have equal right with a Christian, even though it's a Christian-dominated state. Equal in all ways. There should be no discrimination that would allow people to resorting to self-help. There must be political inclusion. I've always said every part of Nigeria belongs to all Nigerians right there. These are the non-kinetic approach the political leaders must ensure. However, why we are talking about this, the man who has been killed yesterday or 2 days ago, it's his fault too. That maybe you failed of. It's not his fault. All he demands from you is security, lives, and property as a citizen. That was social contract. We need to surrender his sovereignty as a state. So now, for whatever reason he has, whatever grounds he comes to the community and slaughters defenseless people. You can't call that a crash, please. Nobody call it from a crash. I didn't see a situation where two groups were fighting each other and shoot each other.
But here's something. Farming community headers are trading blame over the attacks. In Bokos and back in local government area. And the thing is, the leader farming community are accusing headers of launching attacks, but the headers are also, they were the first victims and have accused the operatives of not being neutral in the back and forth there.
Well, you see the accusations. You are the first to come, and there was a reprisal. Problem. What I read from this statement. Reprisal attack. Fine. Tweets. We're not in a jungle, we're not in a zoo where people can just pick arms and kill each other. And maybe a group of animals also come and this other group of animals. We're a country of laws. We're a community of human beings. First, nobody has a right to take the life of a herder in Plateau. And when that happens, it's responsible. The state must turn down the person and bring to justice. Swiftly. How? What is happening? Nobody has a right to pick up arms under the name of repression attack. 145 people. People who are not responsible for killing them in the first place. That is where people get it wrong. So I don't want to hear this issue of you cross first and we are. Because most times the people who will kill a herder are armed criminals from some groups that are invisible, that are not at home for you to come and slaughter them in reprisal. And the people you have gone to are people that did not kill you. They only share identity with the person you suspect of killing you. So each time the army calls a meeting of warring groups, I'm in the army. If you think that this is responsible for the killings, arrest them and prosecute them. And if you find them guilty, appropriate better to them. And those people who sit down in meetings like this to take ownership of a crime that they know nothing about, that they're only sympathetic to, people are sympathetic to certain kind of crimes. So if that, and somehow you lost somebody, the people you believe are from this particular group, these people who also they have been killed before will have that sympathy towards kill these people and take ownership of it as though they have. The same thing if the person now, somebody on this other side will also take it as though you kill the other, somebody has come to revenge. What they fail to understand is those of you that are living in that same community that are unarmed, defenseless, that are living together are victims, because the day the other one will also come to prison, he will kill the defenseless around you, and those who came from outside to help you to kill people are not the ones that these people killed. It's common sense.
Now, what do you make of self-help? Because a middle Belton group is threatening self-help because they feel like not enough is being done assure security in that part of the country.
Let people who are resorting to self-help increasingly.
Haven't you even had some governors who denied that? Well, that was against bandits.
That's failure of the state. State failure. I keep saying this. There are some things to ensure in this country going forward. There should be nothing as indigenous settler dichotomy in a democratic country that is run on the basis of constitution, makes every citizen equal. That not stop fundamentally. And I can make it this point that look, you see, land utilization, the Land Use Act in the constitution, our government are refusing to implement it on us. You see, everything about Nigeria is a leadership problem. It's laws. It's when the law gave state governments control of under the Land Use Act and declared that all land belongs to the government. But you have to acquire them from the originals and then pay the compensation. That is, it kind of settles everything. What that means is that every state is supposed to have a planned economy by the state government. Plan. The FCT. Look at FCT. It's a model for this to copy. We have a planned economy. Lands were acquired from indigenous people. We are locally settled. Compensations were up to today too. If you also allocate land to Abuja that is cultivated, you have to compensation for the crop study. You know, that's in place. But there is a plan in Abuja. The land in Abuja is planned along with the master plan. So you have areas for schools, for markets, farms, for all sorts of economic activities, housing, plazas, just every state was supposed to do things across that state of the federation. Where government, like in Plateau now, government is supposed to acquire land for as much as you can. Now, you now plan the economy of the state. In planning the economy of the state, you provision for farmers and others in that plan. So if I'm interested in doing cattle breeding business, which for me severally, it's one of the disadvantages Nigeria is having, that we have indigenous people that tend to cattle.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. I will apply to and say, okay, I need a land, either cattle grazing or whatever model the state is rating. They will allocate to me accordingly and move my cattle into that area. Now, for to do cultivation, they have their own section. They take care of me and decide that what is to service for there's no law you have law of it. I mean, the animal that's how just never everyone is in constant conflict over the system. So just for the cold of water. But we put in to like my so it is and we are with my great and I'm not in a constant you are not saying that you more the people are than talk and can just amicably share this is the crop because the no two just as you as you are go
something sounds on yourself something problem is like planting now
listen to clean some bread in a long sleep to walk right now people also kind of people more than kind but what ticket of the even just as soon as it will be true so how you see I confess it feeling this is now can it in God until I got supposed to be and answer so this people how to understand the measure they want to you see people man for the manipulation have subscribed to this system. The problem in Nigeria is that the
says, but annual say during military. My system is frozen for some good reason.
All right, Joel Nanit says killings in Plateau State should be swiftly addressed by the government, both state and federal, so that peace will be restored in this cause. That's what the state was known for before the sudden abnormality. As a fact, home of peace and tourism is the motto. What's the motto of Plateau? Peace and tourism.
One of the most parts of Africa.
Know. Kim can testify to the fact she stayed in Plateau. Yes, I testify to it. Honestly, I changed to, home of peace and tourism to what it is right now. It's just sad. Yeah.
If Nigerian military tackle the insecurities in the country, the non-government should invite the American to fight insecurities for us if they are really sincere in insecurity in Nigeria. That's what Obedient Emmanuel is saying. And death is of all mortals in our climb. Hold on to power as if they have solutions to prevent death. No amount of money can stop death when the time comes. Since September 7th, 2001, till date, killings have been ongoing in Plateau. Will this continue? Price comes is the question. Chima in Apo King. Let's go to the phone lines right. 0700 951 000 0895 97469. On WhatsApp, it's 080 99930137. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, the Oracle and Judge Itodo.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, Alhaji.
Good afternoon, sir.
Dr. Majeed. Yes, I want to react to the issue in my plateau. I'm of the opinion, because due to the last administration, there is the need for cattle Because if you demarcate or that is direct locations for cattle breeding, cattle ranching, one, it will increase productivity, it will promote peace, it will enhance employment. Okay, if you will designate areas for crop growing, it will still bring about peace, productivity, and employment. But now they have left as if that is, so we don't, just as Dr. Majeed, we can't think. So we know that when we have ranches, we think about, like I said earlier, productivity and employment. If we have that, the people will that you have your limits. You won't be overlapping here and there and causing what's it called, unnecessary crisis.
All right.
If you invest your radar, you'll be happy to know that I do a choice. My father was a man in Jos. There was peace on the planet. They traveled from Jos to Barity to Bukos to what's it called, Bukabukwai to at night and came back with the next morning or came back in peace or in peace. So all the issues in the current issues in Jos are what I would call physically manufactured. Very much.
All right. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Welcome, sir.
Agaba to one.
Welcome.
Man. Oh, China one.
You're welcome to the show. What's your name?
I see you. My name is Prosper.
Welcome, Prosper.
Dr. Majeed, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's still afternoon now.
It's afternoon, yes.
Complete comment of the season. You see the kind of manipulation we do to ourselves, the way our relationship appearance is what we need to come. Can you imagine we trying to a sort of how do I have caring on other tribes? We don't. The majority is not carrying the majority along. They treat them like as if they don't belong at all. It's not them. We live like that. I mean, somebody was referring to the animal kingdom. This is the way we treat ourselves, and we don't even hide it. You know, when people are trying to prove to the other that they are more than them, are always trying to dominate them. How do you achieve anything? You know, we need to tell ourselves. As who have gone ahead of us have done us in, because they are not addressing the issues.
All right. Thank you much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Let's hear someone else.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
You
Hello,
what?
good afternoon, Mr. Mabayo.
He's fine. He's listening. What's your name?
My name is Salisu.
Go ahead, comrade.
Well, my take, I know I was in Pacific. This crashes. I see the governor of Nigeria of this issue of the thing is on and selfish interest action. These three things, I don't think Nigeria go forward because we always go forward because of these leaders are not helping matters. Now the president to fight for is one is for security, but it's traveling up and down. All this one is doing is not going to a direct point. This is our problem. So now Nigeria to come up for this security, to security. But our problem now, the problem is not the family. We now have source. We now social for this country to get for the bank and for the forest. No social for nothing.
All right.
Nothing. How do you think Nigeria will say? And discretion is planning and the way they are going to come and and the people that are going to come they are not want to come together to unite that.
All right.
The government to come and unite, they cannot unite. The things that Nigeria will go for. Thank everything.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Itodo.
Welcome. Name.
Good afternoon, sir.
Go ahead.
This issue of slaves and you see, when people tell ourselves the truth, we are going to tell ourselves the truth. How do I mean? These people know the Nigerians. We know the tribe they are. But they say we should not call them. You don't call them. How so many what's wrong? It's because the people that when they are ashamed, they're bad. They know where they're coming from. I shall not call their name. We keep doing this thing. We call unknown government, unknown this and that. People will sleep in the night, and we change the communal class. People can sleep midnight. They don't want to sleep. There cannot be a community class. People sleep, focus on raise them. That's why we are making mistakes. You should call them people that are responsible. They have to we don't have people that know to the right thing. They'll call them the further.
All right.
Keeping their names secret, okay. Let's call their names.
But you're not going to call names randomly. You need to establish the people behind it. And, it's also going to be a very dangerous... Right, all right. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's hear one more. I will go for the news break.
Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon, Dickie Itodo. The Agaba Ido one. Good afternoon, Majeed.
Good afternoon, sir.
The Ochanya one. I'm calling in Kaduna right now, listening to you via app.
Good to know.
I want to talk about what happened on 4th. This is just like what is well-coordinated plan. You could imagine for how many hours they killed over 145 people. Some papers say 160. From different papers, you hear different figures. Now, these people, and this thing has been reoccurring, most especially in Niger State, in southern Kaduna and Plateau. And especially this Mongol local government and that Bokazis. It has been happening. It has become a recurring thing. So these people will come and kill and disappear spirits. These people must communicate. I remember a boy that speak against our first lady. He was faced and arrested in Hill. As I'm speaking to you, as I'm speaking, they can trace me to where I am. As I always say, it is like throwing stone in the market. Some people go for number and they fall victim. Some people plan to go to see their parents, in fact, to a clergyman. He and his wife that travel from down to Bokos, they were killed. As I always say, today victims were yesterday. Tomorrow victims were today. It could be anybody. Insecurity is like throwing stone in the market. You know who it will hit. Government should sit up and they don't want to be hearing me condemn for long. These people should be arrested. They should know them. Who are these people perpetrating this heinous action? Thank you for giving me the privilege.
All right, Celeste.
Thank you very much. Let's go on the break as is already standing by for the news. And given the fact that the Chief of Army Staff, Taoreed, said that they have about 50,000 soldiers currently involved in several peacekeeping operations in the country and security taking good chunk of our budget also, one would seriously be worried that it's pretty much hiding in the country. The break and we'll be back to talk more about it. Still.
Talk about
This is Nigeria.